They're in when you wake up, on your commute, at your desk, at the gym, maybe even when you fall asleep. For a lot of us, earbuds spend more hours inside our ears than out of them, and they feel completely harmless. It's just sound after all. But seal a device into your ear canal for 8, 10, even 12 hours a day, and two very different things quietly begin to happen. One in the warm, damp little space where the earbud sits, and another much deeper, in a part of your ear that can never repair itself. Let's go in and see both. Let's be fair right from the start. Earbuds are not the villain here. Using them at sensible volumes for sensible stretches of time is perfectly fine. The problem is the specific combination this video is about, sealed in, turned up, and left in all day long. And the first effect begins the very moment you push them in. Your ear canal is normally an open, breathing space. Warm, yes, but well ventilated, with air moving freely. Push in an earbud, though, and you transform it into a sealed cave. Still warm, but now the moisture your skin naturally gives off has nowhere to escape. So the first question is simple. What kind of life absolutely loves a warm, damp, sealed space? Bacteria. They thrive in exactly that kind of environment, and the numbers are honestly striking. In one controlled study, a single headset worn for just 1 hour saw its bacterial count jump roughly tenfold. And in people who wear earphones constantly, swabs find bacteria almost every single time, far more than in non-users, and frequently several different species growing at once. Now, your ear isn't defenseless against this. It produces earwax, which is actually a self-cleaning antibacterial shield that slowly carries dirt and debris outward and protects the canal. But sealing that canal and trapping moisture against the skin softens it and disrupts that natural shield. And earbuds we share, or simply never bother to clean, keep delivering fresh bacteria right back in. One honest note here. Most of these are small, observational studies, so they show a clear link, not a precise dose response. Still, once bacteria start piling up behind a sealed earbud, what happens to the skin they're sitting on? It can become inflamed and infected. Doctors call this otitis externa, though you might know it better as swimmer's ear, because trapped water causes the very same problem. The softened, irritated skin of the canal lets bacteria invade, and it turns red, swollen, painful, and sometimes weepy. And it's common. Roughly 1 in 10 people will get it at some point in their lifetime. Usually, it's treatable and clears up. But if it's left to escalate, in rare cases, the infection can spread beyond the canal into nearby bone and tissue, which is exactly why ear pain and discharge are worth taking seriously, rather than just pushing an earbud back over the top. Now, an infection eventually heals, so you might assume that's the worst of it, right? Actually, no. The truly permanent damage isn't in the canal at all. It's much deeper, and it's caused by something most people never connect to harm, the sound itself. Deep inside your inner ear sits a delicate spiral organ lined with thousands of microscopic, sound-sensing hairs, the outer hair cells. When sound waves arrive, these tiny hairs bend, converting that physical motion into the electrical signals your brain interprets as music or speech or a voice you love. They are extraordinarily sensitive and just as extraordinarily fragile. Blast them with sound that's too loud, and they become overwhelmed. A flood of stress chemicals builds up inside them, and the cells begin to break down, a process that can actually begin within minutes of loud exposure. And here's the cruel part, the part that really matters. In humans, these hair cells do not grow back. Once they die, that particular sliver of your hearing is gone for good. There is no regeneration, no repair, and no cure. So, if loud is the enemy, the obvious next question is, how loud is too loud, and for how long? Here's the part that genuinely surprises people. Loudness damage isn't just about volume, it's about volume multiplied by time, like a daily budget you spend down. The number you've probably heard is 85 decibels for 8 hours. But there's a catch. That figure was written for factory workers, who were assumed to spend the rest of their day in relative quiet, not for someone with earbuds in all day long. For all-day use, a stricter benchmark fits far better. Even 70 decibels, averaged across a full day, and that budget burns down fast. For every 3 decibels louder, your safe listening time is cut in half. 88 decibels, 4 hours. 91, just 2. 94, 1 hour. Push it to 100, and you're done in 15 minutes. The real trap is background noise. On a train, or in a busy gym, people crank the volume up to around 90 decibels just to hear over everything else, and more than a quarter of them land squarely in the danger zone without ever realizing it. So if you've never once failed a hearing test, you're safe, right? Not necessarily, and this is the most unsettling part of the whole story. There's a kind of damage called hidden hearing loss. In animal studies, noise that caused only a temporary dip, the kind of ringing that's completely gone by the next morning, still permanently destroyed more than half of the tiny wired connections between the hair cells and the hearing nerve. The hair cells themselves survived. It was the wiring that didn't. And because a standard hearing test only checks whether you can detect quiet tones in a silent booth, it can miss this kind of damage entirely, because the wiring that dies first is the wiring you need to follow a conversation in a noisy room. Now, the honest science. This is firmly proven in animals, but in humans it's still genuinely debated. Some studies see clear signs of it in earbud users, others don't. So the fair takeaway, and frankly the scarier one, isn't your earbuds are definitely destroying your hearing right now. It's this. If it were happening to you, today's standard hearing test could not rule it out, which leaves the question that matters most. What can you do that genuinely works? Quite a lot, actually, and it's simpler than you might fear. First, the canal. Don't wear them all day. Give your ears stretches of open, dry air. Clean your earbuds regularly. Never share them with other people. And if there's ever pain or discharge, leave them out and get it checked. Second, the volume. Follow the 60-60 rule, somewhere around 60% volume for about 60 minutes, and then take a real break. And here's a genuinely useful trick that's actually backed by data: noise cancelling. When researchers measured it, simply switching it on let people drop their volume substantially in loud places. In one subway test, from above 85 decibels all the way down below 75. Because they were no longer fighting the background, some phones even track your dose now and warn you. So, earbuds in all day, any real harm? Now you know it's actually 2 quiet stories at once. In the canal, a warm, sealed space where bacteria bloom and the skin can become infected, usually treatable, just occasionally serious. And much deeper, in an inner ear that can't repair itself, a slow toll taken by volume and time that even a clean hearing test can't fully rule out. The good news, both are largely within your control. Open air, clean buds, lower volume, shorter sessions, noise cancelling when it gets loud. Your ears do an extraordinary job. They just can't undo the permanent part. So, the winning move is simply not to spend it. Subscribe and tell us where to go inside next.